Here we go again. Here we go again. Black History Month. We're going to shed some light on that because this is staying in the light radio. We're going to shed light on what this is all about. This the biggest mind in history. The biggest mind F in history. This is what's keeping you a slave, people. I got to talk on this for a minute. I got to talk on this. What do you see on this screen? Black, right? Ether, carbon, melanin. But what do you see? You see whatever your mind sees is what's all in your imagination. That's what light is all about. You can't have light without darkness. So the light I'm bringing today is about this mind F called Black History. Y'all people sick. First off, you ain't black. That's a low social class. Like a slave? Are you a slave? Well, maybe you are. Maybe you just give to society, don't have nothing in return to show for it. You work, don't have, just work and pay your bills. That's paying you upkeep as a slave. You have nothing of substance that you have done with your life. Your children are gone wild. You have no control over them. Your relationships are in shambles if you have one, if you are married. Yeah, you living a slave life. Only you your own master and slave. That's what the emancipation did. It made you a master of yourself as a slave. Because the government is going to make sure when they misclassified you as black, Negro, colored, that you would never have the resources needed to live a prosperous life. And you keep telling them, yeah, I'm black, I'm black, I'm black. Say, okay, we know who you are and we know where you fit in the society. They're going to put you where they want you. Why do they want you in your proper person, which is indigenous to the land? Because when you're indigenous to this land, you don't ask for reparations because you own the land. What can be more valuable than that? You know who you are. You know your ancestral ties to the land. They destroy the land, they're destroying you. And that's why we're such a weak people right now. Because the land has been destroyed, raped, selling the blood for money. And the people are people, you come from the land. Now, no, I'm not talking fable talk here. Ashes to ashes, dust is dust. If you're native to this land, then the land is you and you are the land. So destruction of the land means you. That's why you're destroyed as a people. You don't know who you are. You claim it's some fictional entity, black, who has no history. Black has no history. What the heck you talking about? Oh, you talking about the history of slavery? Oh, okay. That's all black means. You a slave. Because a slave is told who he is and what he is. And they do not know how to think for themselves. So if the master come and say, you black, you say, yeah, boss, I'm black. I sure is. Since you gave me the name, I'm not gonna change it. Matter of fact, I'm proud to be black. I'm proud to be black. I'm proud to be a slave. I'm proud to have no history. I'm proud to be separated from my creator. I'm proud to have no land, which my ancestral name would give me. But I don't want that. I want to stay a slave. I want to stay black. Yeah, that's what it is, people. That's what you're doing. So if your history just goes back and start with slavery, yeah, you're black. That's your history, which is slavery. But I have a different history. You see, I asked my grandfather about us being slaves, and he almost slapped the heck out of me. I got Doris to slap. He said, "We ain't never been no slaves. This is our land. They came and took it over, and we've been fighting them for centuries, but they took over our land. This is our constitution." They couldn't write. Look, these people from Europe was in dark ages, man. Where they get the intelligence to write a constitution? Oh, that's our work. We brought light to Europe. How can they come and say we are savages when they don't even know how to bury their dead and throwing waste out the windows? Oh, I'm not going to talk about all the things they were doing. You need to do your research and find that, because that would get this that would get this challenge shut down. Hey, what's going on? 344 3444. Three fours in there. I'm sure that has a significant meaning. Yeah, if you come across people who still celebrating this Black history, you tell them how dumb and stupid they look to the world. Every time you do that, you're disinheriting your rights as a human being, as a child of the Creator. 'Cause God didn't make no black people; He made people with a home, with the land. And you don't honor your father and mother. You don't honor nobody. You don't even exist. Black history. What can be a most oxymoron than Black history? History means something you can trace your ancestral roots to with culture and civilization, as I as a Moor can do. There's no end to my line, my family line, go all the way back to Abraham, according to the Western. But we know all that was stolen from Egypt. So the point being said is this: as long as you keep calling yourself black and teaching your children this black history, you're going to stay a slave. And you're going to be proud to be a slave because you're going to have nothing, and nothing is plenty for you. You don't want nothing. These are the things that they did to you, robbing you, thinking you're separate from this land, that you came here. No. You indigenous to this land. This land is you. How can people coming from Europe claim this is their land? That don't even make sense. Everything they have, they got from you. Constitution, the buildings. We made all these buildings here. The laws they operate on, we wrote those laws. They have just changed them to fit them and put you out. How did they put you out? Well, they made it a death sentence if you spoke your language, if you wore your traditional garb, if you taught your children the true history. That was a death sentence. That's why you grew up not knowing anything. Your parents couldn't teach you because their parents couldn't teach them and their parents couldn't teach them. It was a death sentence. to teach who you are because you're so powerful. They couldn't have that. They couldn't rule you with you knowing who you are. You couldn't be you. You unrulable when you know your history and who you are. Nobody can rule you. Okay, I don't see any questions in the chat, so I'm going to wrap it up. And remember, when you say Black history, it's a death sentence on you and your children for generations and generations. And you never get in the land because you're saying you're a slave and you are the land, you are the property. All these hundreds of years, and you're still calling yourself out of your name. Grow up, people.